for a glider, a good ratio, this actually counts in fin, a good ratio of the back length of the fuselage to the front is about 6 wing wing widths, which is actually called a I think it's called a chord. Yeah, the width of the wing is called the chord. So it's 5 wing chords to the back of the tailplane, and the longer you make the tailplane, the more stable it's going to become, because I mean then you'll have more leverage. I mean if I put the tailplane over here and I pull up, it's going to have a much greater effect on it than if the tailplane was over there or somewhere over there. Then you need a lot more drag from the elevator and so on, or displacement of air to actually push it up. So 6, make it about 6 this time, so it's very stable. Now the body that I'm going to use is something called single pole from Useful Construction Props. Where is it? There we go. This thing. It's this big metal pole, and it works very well as an aircraft body. And to conserve time, I'm going to cut this part of the video out where I place this stuff. Just, basically I'll just place the fuselage underneath it, exactly in the middle, and then weld this onto the fuselage. Okay, there everything is placed, and I'll show you from this side. I love this design. I always make these on servers because they look so nice and they fly extremely well. You can see I left about almost 1 wing width over here, and then about 5, I think 5 or 6 over there, and I no-collided this to the pole, and I just stuffed it in there and then welded it. Now we're going to apply fin and see how it flies. Fin settings for the plane, I'm going to do about 23, because otherwise it flies too unrealistically. It's like a piece of foam in water. It just floats. And lift by plane normal is on, and use thermal incline since it's a glider, so we want to get some lift somewhere. Just apply that to the wings. And then for the stabilizers, this is one thing I need to show you. I'm quickly going to freeze this, shift E that in place, then I'm going to freeze those two. I'm going to undo the welds on them, weld them together again, and then show you something very important. You can see I shift E'd this back wing into place here, so it's exactly parallel with the front wing. Now what you should actually do is lift the back wing up a little so it's tilted forward a little. So in other words, the aircraft will pull up always, and that stops your plane from diving into the ground all the time for no reason. So basically what you're doing by doing that is putting more angle of attack on the wing, and this makes sure that the wing is always facing upwards to where you're going forward. And what you can also do to make it look a bit more neat, and what you actually do in real aircraft, is tilt the wing up a little. So instead of tilting the tailplane down, you tilt the wing up a little. But I'm just going to tilt the tailplane up or down, whichever way you want. If you can see that, it's tilted that way. And I'll weld that. I'm going to use smart constraint since it's fast and it works. There we go. Now we're going to apply fin tool to the back. Now for the rudder or the vertical stabilizer, you put the fin efficiency on 78 and no lift. Use thermal incline, you can also switch off, although it won't do anything. And then apply the same settings, but only 35 fin efficiency to the stabilizer at the back. Now I want to show you something that's very important, that everybody, that I know most people, I've only seen one person that actually knows to do this. If I throw the plane just like it is right now, I'm quickly going to do that. Just make sure you see. You see it flops onto its back like that. It sort of turns around like this. And the reason for that is that, can you see the way this stabilizer is pointed? It always pushes the back down. It always makes it do that, or like this. And that does give the that does make the wings create more lift, if you have enough speed. But that also means that it's continuously tilting upwards, and to counter that effect, you have a ballast weight in front. And all aircraft, except for fighters and I know some airliners, do have ballast weights in the front to balance the aircraft. In a glider, it's usually the pilot that sits in front, or in small aircraft, it's always the pilots that sit in front. So this time we're going to use a cola can. You can see I welded the cola can to the front. Now, I know what the weight of this can should be from experience from building a lot of planes. So I'm going to change the weight of the can to about 30. And this should eliminate that effect of the plane falling backwards like that. On your aircraft, just experiment. That's all. You'll find the ratio of your planes sooner or later. It's very easy. So let's see what it does now. And I'm going to take it to the top of cliff thing, and I'm going to drop it down and let you see it fly. Okay, here we are. Now you'll see it flies pretty fast, and it actually flies very realistically fast. I hate it when planes fly slow. It's like a helicopter hovering almost, and then people do these barrel rolls and stuff while the plane's going at 10 miles an hour. So I'm going to drop it down here. I have a trail on it because I know it's pretty hard to see, and you'll see. Here we go. And it's going to pick up a little bit of speed, and that thing glides perfectly. Here it is. It turns a little because the wings efficiency are different efficiencies, so it circles the whole time so I can catch it. And this thing just, I love it. It just glides. It's like swoosh, swoosh. Now to think of some common errors people make. This weight in the front is very common. You have to have something to balance the effect of the fin at the back. Secondly, these vertical stabilizers, they're very important actually. You know what, I'm going to remove it and tell you what, show you what side slipping is. Now just to tell you, because of this design of these upswept wings, it might not side slip as much as I want. Basically, side slipping is when the plane slips to the side. So it flies like this. And that causes a lot less lift, and it makes it unstable. And if this plane actually side slips, you can see that wingtip is bent upwards. So if it flies like this, that means it's going to start rolling like that, because that's what it wants to do until it gets like this, and that causes it to be unstable. But then it also corrects itself, because it's such a nice design, by pulling the nose down, and you'll see it does sort of a turn and it goes straight again, and that's what it does. But I'll quickly throw it and let it side slip. I just hope you can see with the quality on YouTube. Okay, I threw it, and you'll see, look at that, it just rolled over and it crashed. I wish I could show that in slow motion. Jeez. So the vertical stabilizer is very important. It stops the plane from doing this. Now, I mentioned it before, but really remember to tilt the elevator up just a little. See, the pole disappears about there. It just disappears. So the wing is tilted up a little. That stops it from doing this. And this is a very common problem in flying wings, for which they have different aerofoil designs. But you throw the plane and it just dives into the ground and smash, and you get frustrated and you do it yourself. And these are wooden. Ow! I think it's angry at me. That was not scripted, but anyway. Where was I? Oh yeah, I think the vertical stabilizers. Yeah, that basically it just pushes the nose of the wing down. Oh yeah, no, I was at. These are made unbreakable. They are wooden props, so they break easily. And then what I do when I actually finish the plane, I make them breakable again, because it's really, really fun to let my friends try and shoot down the plane while you do lots of maneuvers and stuff. And I found also